comes to folding electric bikes, generally speaking, there is a compromise to be made, either with comfort, power, or portability, but the Engwe O20 Boost gives you all of that. What's up, Electroheads? My name's Ailish.
And I'm Honey, and we have challenged ourselves and this bike to see if it can cross every single bridge in Zone 1 London. That's all the way from Battersea Bridge to Tower Bridge.
Okay, so you guys must be thinking, what on earth are you girls doing? What is this bizarre challenge that you have set for yourselves? Well, I'll tell you, there is a lot of history to be said about these bridges, and Honey right here has a whole degree in history, so she's the best person to take us on this journey of discovery.
But first, let's take a little closer look at the bike that is going to get us across the city. This is the Engwe O20 Boost, Engwe's brand new folding electric bike that is designed and built to be a folding city commuter that does not compromise. It comes with a 40-volt hub motor and can push an impressive 75 Newton meters of torque. The version that we are riding today is a prototype that has a 48-volt 13.5 amp hour battery, but the final product that you can order will come with an even bigger 48-volt 15 amp hour battery. That means more range than we will get today. It also comes with a 4A fast charger, so you can get a full charge quicker. 20 by 2 inch wheels make for easier handling, a rear rack is there for all of your extra cargo, and hydraulic brakes ensure that you can stop in a range of weather conditions. Then of course there's the tech side of things. A 3.5 LCD colour display with Bluetooth and app control available. This bike prioritises a comfortable and natural riding experience with 50mm front suspension, a very comfortable saddle, 8-speed Shimano gears, and a torque sensor. On the model we are riding today, we also have a seat post shock absorber, which can be purchased as an additional accessory. Engwe claims that this bike has a range of between 50 and 87 miles, depending on what pedal assist you are using. Using pedal assist 5, you'll get less range, and you'll get more out of the battery if you cycle on level 1. Having all of these uncompromising features does mean that it all adds up when it comes to the bike's weight. The Engwe O20 Boost weighs 26.5 kg, which isn't crazy heavy, but it's definitely far off lightweight. Now that we know a little bit more about the bike, let's get into our riding challenge. Okay, so the first bridge that we are going over. Now this is the first bridge in Zone 1, and the zones in London were actually to do with the tube map. So the tube map was first designed, or the one that we know today, was first designed by Harry Beck in 1931, and the zones were split up to determine the fares that people paid when they got the tube. It is one of the narrowest bridges on the River Thames, and this caused a fair few collisions back in the day, meaning that it was the first bridge to be lit with oil lamps in 1799 to try and improve safety. As you can see, it's still narrow, so let's go to my rideability rating. Guys, that was a 0 out of 10 for cyclists. There is no bike lane, heavy traffic, and as you can see, we were squeezing through gaps about that big between the curb and the buses. That was horrendous, and I think the next one is going to be a stark difference. Now it's Ailish's turn to ride over the next bridge, as we'll be taking everyone in turn today.
And as we join onto Albert Bridge, you can see it is pedestrians and cyclists only, so it's much calmer compared to the previous bridge. But let me tell you a little bit more about the O20 Boost. So this is a lovely, comfortable folding electric bike. It's got really nice ergo handlebars, which feel lovely and cushy on the hands. You have your front suspension to soak up any potholes or bumps in the road. And we've also got seat post suspension, which has been gifted to us by Engwe. That is an additional extra if you would like to do that, but I would recommend it. It really does help cushion the road out. You've got those 20-inch wheels, so whilst it stays a little bit compact, it also means that you do still feel like you've got stability, so you've got that nice crossover between having a slightly more compact folding bike, but also feeling stable on the road too. Good grippy tyres. And also, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the power and how it feels to ride, but seeing as I've gone over the bridge now, I'll wait until the next one. But Honey is now going to give you a bit more information about this bridge itself. This was a much nicer bridge to ride over. This was a 10 out of 10 for cyclists, but that is of course because it's shut to all other traffic. This bridge was opened in 1873 and is now closed for significant structural repairs. It's like Hammersmith Bridge. These Victorian bridges serve us well, but we need to look after them and maintain them. But the bridge is set to reopen in 2027, so make sure that you get on your bike and you come and experience the tranquility before then.
Let's continue.
So we are cycling through the wonderful Battersea Park at the moment. So whilst we do so, I just thought it'd be a good opportunity to talk a little bit more about this bike. And now I want to talk about the power. So this can output up to 75 Newton meters of torque. That is a punchy amount of power. That is going to be great for starting off at the traffic lights, for climbing those inclines, and just to make you feel like you've got a good bit of boost, aka the O20 Boost, when you really need it. It also has a torque sensor. So this is a more sophisticated setup, which means that when you pedal, rather than the pedals telling the bike that basically, right, it's time to power on and go, it's actually able to read the amount of pressure that you are putting through the pedals itself. So you get a little bit more assist if you're pushing more and a little bit less assist if you're pushing less. So this makes it feel like a more natural push than a more kind of like robotic, mechanical kind of feel. So yeah, definitely thumbs up with the torque sensor as well. And I've been really enjoying riding this bike.
And while this bike is great and we do love riding it, we do have to admit that there are a couple of features that could be improved. First up is the kickstand. This is great for the fold, I know, but it can be tricky to kick out as you have to lift up the back of the bike, which is heavy. Ailish would also like a little bit more height on the seat, and I found that the motor is so powerful that sometimes you get a ghost pedaling sensation, which doesn't make me feel super in control of the bike or connected to the road. But that aside, as Ailish said, we do love riding this bike. And you may have noticed that the other bike we're riding today is the Engwe Zip, so let's take a little look at how it differs. The Zip is very nifty and nimble, weighing only 19.4 kg. It has 16-inch wheels and folds down a lot smaller than the O20 Boost, and is more of a Brompton competitor than a long-range adventurer. But if you want to find out more, then we have a whole video on the Zip, so go and check that out.
Wow, there is a nice wide bus lane on Chelsea Bridge. So it's pretty easy to cycle over so far. There is some traffic on the other side, but there does seem to be a bike lane as well. So giving it probably an 8 out of 10 for cyclability. And as you can see in the background, there is the iconic Battersea Power Station, probably best known for being on the cover of Pink Floyd's 1977 album Animals. And for that, for me, it's a pretty good bridge.
And as we join onto Vauxhall Bridge, let me remind you guys, if you enjoy electric bike content, if you would like to follow on our adventures as we explore London and beyond on eRides, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you do not miss another video.
Before we continue to the other bridges, let's take a little look at the fold.
Okay, so we're going to fold this folding bike. Now, this is a bit of a heavier and bulkier bike at 26.5 kilograms, but the double kickstand means that it's so super easy to fold. So if you have back issues and don't want to be carrying a bunch of weight or leaning over yourself, then this bike is definitely good for you. And Engwe are making changes. So this model that we have here is a prototype, but they're making changes because customer feedback said that these cables here were getting pinched in the fold. They're adding some protective rubber casing for new models that you guys will get if you're watching and ordering at home. Overall, for a mid-rate suspension bike, this is a great size fold for at-home storage.
Let's get back to the challenge.
Okay, so I'm currently going over Lambeth Bridge, which has its own little cycle lane. Fantastic. Now, this is a fun challenge in and of itself, but let me give you a little bit of historical context as to why we're doing this. Back in the 16th century, the original city of London started to expand to link up Westminster and other surrounding villages, beginning on its journey to what we know as modern-day London. One of the main modes of transport across this rapidly expanding city was taking little boats across the River Thames. Now, taking these were as commonplace as taking rented e-bikes now. And that's what we're doing in this challenge today. We're replicating that movement across the city as closely as possible, and not by taking the Uber boat, but by taking e-bikes. Now, the next couple bridges may have some amazing views, but they're pretty bog standard bridges, so we're just gonna cut to a montage. Let's go.
Now, London by the River Thames is really super flat, so we didn't come across any hills on our journey today. There is a feature that I cannot not tell you about, and that's the boost button. When you press this, the motor outputs all of the power and torque that it can, boosting you along and up hills, wholeheartedly putting the boost in this e-bike's name. The O20 Boost will be available for pre-order in the UK, with customer deliveries expected to begin in late July. If you pre-order this bike, you will also receive £200 off and free gifts worth £137.90, including a rear rack, AirTag and folding bike lock. That's a pretty sweet deal. This launch offer will be available on a first come, first served basis, so make sure that you check it out if you like the look of this bike.
And we're on London Bridge, baby! And Honey has some great history to tell you guys about.
London Bridge is often confused for Tower Bridge, probably because people are expecting a lot more when you're talking about London's titular bridge. But did you know that London Bridge used to look very different? It used to be lined with houses and shops. It was its own little bustling boulevard of life right on the water, and I wish that we still had something like that today. But alas, it was demolished in 1831 because the thick stone foundations restricted the flow of the Thames and caused dangerous currents. It was replaced with a Victorian construction, which also faced structural issues as it sank about 1/4 of an inch every year. No good. It couldn't cope with the volume and weight of 20th century traffic, and then it was finally replaced with the modern day construction that we know now, which was completed in 1973. And we've made it to the final bridge of the day. We're on Tower Bridge. We've done it. Challenge completed, you guys. And I have some wonderful little history facts for you. So take it away, honey. This is an iconic part of the London skyline, and it is a Victorian construction that was built between 1886 and 1894. Before this construction was built, plans for a bridge in this location were entered into a competition, and a variety of architects proposed a variety of ideas. So our London skyline could have looked very, very different, but Sir Horace Jones proposed this plan. And now underneath all of its cladding, it actually looks more similar to the Golden Gate Bridge. But Queen Victoria stepped in and she said for a bridge as close to the Tower of London as this one, it needed to look more in keeping and keep with the medieval theme and architecture. So the cladding was put on, and hence the towers aren't actually towers. They're just kind of like masks, which is pretty cool. But that's enough history fact. Let me know down in the comments below which was your favourite and maybe which ones you already knew. So let's move on to the range results of today's ride. Okay, so let's talk about the range. Today we've cycled just over 22 miles and we do still have just about a mile to go to our final destination. Now, these numbers are not the numbers of the exact route if you guys were going to do this, because we have been going a little bit back and forth and we cycled from the office. But if you were to do a journey similar to this, I think you would be, because I certainly am, super impressed with the battery life. We have done just over 22 miles, as I said, and we've hardly made a dent in the battery. It's still got 4 out of 5 power bars left.
Oh, honey, crazy to see you here.
What? So I would definitely say that the O20 Boost is built for long adventures and long range cycling, because yeah, it's only going to get better with the battery that they are shipping out on the new models, because this, of course, remember, is a prototype. So let's talk about who this bike is for. It's for people who want something super easy to fold. It's for people who want something to take on long weekend adventures, and for people who want to be able to store their bike inside easily. This definitely hits the mark on all of those fronts, but there are a couple things that could be improved. Sometimes the kickstand is a little bit janky, and Ailish would have liked a little bit more height on the seat for her height, and sometimes there is a ghost pedaling sensation, which is not my fave thing. But otherwise, I would say that this bike is a really, really good e-bike. And particularly for the price that this is right now, with the early bird price, then this is such a steal. You are getting a lot for your money. But of course, If you guys have enjoyed the video, then please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think of this bike and my history facts down in the comments. And if you've made it this far, then you should subscribe because you are definitely an Electrohead. And I will see you soon. Bye!